Hey everybody, Pastor Will here from First Centenary. We're going to be returning to in-person worship on October 4th, and I want to give you just a few instructions about what that's going to look like so you can be prepared to come back to worship with us on that day. Now, the first thing that you're going to need to do is to go to the church website and find the link that will allow you to register online. Once you've registered online, your attendance will be recorded and your name will be on a list ready for you to show up on Sunday morning. If you don't have access to the internet, just call the church office and they will get you on that list and have your attendance reserved. While you're here, everyone will be required to wear a mask. Even the folks that are on stage are going to be wearing a mask when they're not singing or preaching specifically. So that's a way that we're offering care for each other and seeking to live into our Methodist rules of doing no harm. Again, a reminder that during this first season of reopening, we're not going to have Sunday school or small groups gathering on Sunday mornings. It'll just be the two 10:45 worship services, nor will we have childcare available. But your kids will be welcome to be with you. Kids under the age of 2 don't have to wear a mask, but kids over the age of 2 will be asked to wear a mask, and all children will be asked to remain with their parents or family during this time. So the best place to park on Sunday mornings will either be the Oak Street Center parking lot, the Student Center parking lot, or on the street. And we're asking folks to come either through either of the parking lot doors. So these doors here where there's steps, but if you're not good with steps, there's an entrance in the back that's a handicap accessible entrance, and we invite you to come through either one of those. This entry protocol is going to be the same at either one of those locations, but these are the only two doors you can come in the building. You'll be greeted by an usher who's going to have the door open, and they'll invite you to come on in. So glad that you're at church this morning. And when you come in, there'll be somebody else who is waiting for you right inside. And when you're here, they're going to ask you what we are calling the COVID protocol questions. Do you have a fever? Have you felt sick? Have you come in contact with anybody who has contracted COVID-19? You'll answer no to those questions. You'll check off your attendance that you've already submitted to us online or by calling the church office, and just let us know that you're here. And that's there in case we have to do contact tracing or anything of the sort. And then you'll be asked to put on your mask as you're coming in the building. If you've forgotten a mask, there'll be some provided here. So if you need one, we will always have one. We don't want to turn anyone away from worship for any reason. Once you come through the door and you've answered the questions and you've got your mask on, that would be a great time to either grab a sip of water, go to the restroom, so that once you're in your seat, you don't have to get back up. But you'll come to these doors, the main entrance of the Vine, and there'll be an usher there who is waiting to show you into your seat. And we've got seats up to six in a row, 6, 5, 4, 3. And whatever you need, we will have rearranged those in the week before as you have pre-registered. But that usher will invite you to come on into worship and welcome you into the Vine. And it's been 6 months since you've been here, and we're so excited to have you here and to be able to welcome you back to worship. And then we'll take you and get you seated in your seat. So the ushers will bring you to your seat, and they will seat you down, and in your seat already will be a bulletin, an announcement that will be laid there for you by an usher ahead of time who was wearing gloves and a mask, and it's just a way of us trying to keep everybody safe and healthy. On weeks that we do communion, we will have prepackaged communion cups already in your seat waiting on you. So just a heads up, on October 4th, we're going to be celebrating communion. And so there'll be a bulletin and a prepackaged communion elements in your seat ready to go on Sunday morning. We're going to ask that when you're seated that you're always keeping your mask on and that you don't leave your seat to go and talk to somebody else. I know you want to see your friends. I know community is so important, but we're trying to make sure that we respect our social distancing and stay in our seats when we're in our worship area. Now, once we're in the worship area, one of the things that we are not going to do when we are together is corporate singing. So the band will be singing. There'll be somebody leading from on stage. I'll be preaching, or one of the other pastors will be preaching, but we're trying to only ever have one person speaking or singing in the room at the same time. And that's just a safety protocol so that we can prevent as much transmission as possible if somebody were to be sick while here. When the service is over, I'll give a dismissal, and I'm going to ask the folks who are closest to the doors to leave first. So if you're in one of these front rows, just go ahead and stay put for a few minutes, and we're going to exit from the back first, and you just kind of hear me say the next row, the next row, the next row, and we'll dismiss row by row and group by group so that we can do so safely and not have a big crowd out in the lobby of the Vine. So happy that you'll be with us. Can't wait for next week.